So it's been very hot and then very wet. So some things have grown this week. And there's actually quite a bit to show, which I'm excited about, because I was actually not going to shoot this week because of the weather, but a lot happened, so we're gonna take a look, starting with the rose bed here. So take a look here, and we've got the pansies. They're not super happy, they get a lot of sun, but they're still flowering and looking very pretty. These are placeholders essentially. They're annual, so they'll be coming out, and then I've mentioned before that like up to like here is going to get taken out anyways, because we're ripping north on the property line. And then we have no flowers on the sunset right now. They did get pelted with rain, so they're happy but not super happy, but growing, which is excellent. And then my strawberries are growing, and if you look, I might get a strawberry or two this year, which is pretty exciting. I didn't think I would get anything from them this year because we put them in late. It was more so just wanted to focus on them establishing so that they come back next year, which, I mean, they're doing really well. You can actually see them now, which is before when I put them in you couldn't really see them, so that's exciting. Then we got the campfire here, and if you look, the campfire has little buds coming in finally, and like just a bunch of new growth, because I was really concerned about this one, because it bloomed once when we first put it in, and then it kind of didn't do anything, but it's putting on a bunch of new growth, which is super exciting, and it's got buds now. So I can't wait to see these in a couple years and how great they're gonna look. This centennial is a showstopper. It's so pretty. I was looking back on videos of when we put the video when we put it in, and it's gotten so big. You can also see there's leaf cutter bee damage, which are these half circles here. So that means our bees are out, which is excellent. Lots of new growth. We got something that kind of munched on them. We're not sure what it is. We're gonna get an insecticidal soap and spray it, because this is bad bug damage. This is good bug damage, but that's bad stuff. And then it continues to have very gorgeous flowers, and lots of them at the same time, and new buds everywhere, literally everywhere. And then there's another bloom right there. And then the Hope for Humanity rose has a bunch of buds coming as well. It's such a beautiful color. But yeah, they're all doing well. I'm loving the leaf cutter bee half moons. They're really cute. Pretty sure this is a grasshopper chewing on shit, but that happens. Lots of leaf cutter activity though, which is good. Which means if I take a look at my plants in the back, there's probably chew marks out of them as well. And then we got a sad looking annual bed here. Again, it's been hot, and then it rained like an unbelievable amount, which is why everything is flopped over. So I have to come through and I have to get the tulips, because they're done and ready for the pods to be harvested. There's leaf cutter bites on my guacamole. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. It's very exciting. Yeah. Stuff's just kind of plugging along. We got a ton of rain, so hopefully stuff jumps in the next little bit. Oh, I didn't see that earlier. My little hosta has a flower. Look at that. This is the first year that this has flowered for me. That's exciting. Oh, that's very exciting. And then I don't think any of the clematis have flowers right now, but they're still doing really well. And then this heuchera is doing really well. My overachiever. These ones are doing really well still too. They're getting moved in the fall though, because they're too close. There's not enough space. And then I'm gonna leave that one and that one, because there should be enough space between them, so that when they do get big, they'll just kind of fill in this way and do much the same that this one has done. And then we've got the peony bed and the lilies. We're gonna talk about the lilies. So again, it rained a whole bunch last night, so the peony's looking a little beat, but doing all right. The snaps are all, they're hurting, but they're doing okay. I got sunflowers that are coming up. No leaf cutter damage on them, surprisingly. This peony, look how tall this new stalk is. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, get a better view for you guys. Yeah, this is the new growth here that came in. And then there's new growth in that armpit. And there's new growth on the leaves. We're a little bit sunburnt. Not too happy, but overall, we're still chugging along, which is great. I have more lilies coming up here, just everywhere. Got pods that got pollinated. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with them. I don't know if I'm gonna rip them off or leave them. And then we have color. Finally, they're so close, so close. And I cannot wait to take a picture when these start to open, because they're going to be magnificent. Sorry. They're supposed to be black though, but I don't think they're going to be black. They look pretty red. And there's a lot of them. So then continuing with the lily trend, come up to the porch. The callas are off the charts. They came back with a vengeance, and there's flowers and leaves, and I just am very impressed with how well they did. I'm quickly learning that the more you stuff into a pot, the happier they are. So they're beautiful, and like their leaves are also really nice. Like, look at that. And then my showstopper, my favorite ever, bronze orange, has a new bloom stalk opening up here. And then this one's getting kind of spent. They also got whipped around. We had some weather and they got whipped around. Ooh. I don't know if that's a viable seed pod, but that's a seed pod. See what happens. Oh, there's a couple of them that have fallen. Probably in all the wind and storming we got the other day. Pick that up off of there. And then there's this one that has no bloom stalks, but every time I look at it, it's like 3 times the size. I'm hoping it puts out a bloom stalk. If not, I'm really just digging the leaves, and it's beautiful. And I hope that next year, if I can save the bulbs properly and start them properly, I will just have a bunch of plants that look like this. This one has another bloom stalk coming in. This one's pretty spent. I don't think anything got pollinated on it. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. But there's another bloom stalk coming here. This one, all 3 rhizomes have now pushed out leaves. This one's a little behind, but that's okay. It'll get there, and if it doesn't, we just dig it up and store it for next year and start them earlier. And then I finally got the one in the back potted up. So it has spent the last week or so establishing itself in this pot. Doing well, obviously. A little bit of sunburn on it, but that happens. It's nothing to be too terribly concerned about unless it gets worse, then there's a problem. So yeah, that's how the front is looking right now. And we'll go take a look at the back, which is an absolute swamp because it rained from like 7 p.m. last night to like 9 a.m. this morning. It's good times. Let's go take a look. So some things have changed because we had a storm warning, so we brought everything inside, or in the garage I guess, and then I brought it all back outside and tied it up. So we've got sad looking tomato plants because again it stormed and they got rained on, so they need a little bit of time to recover. But we have tomato plants all staked up and tied up. We got pepper plants all staked up and tied up. We've got actual peppers. These are the agiricos. They're coming in. There's both plants have some peppers on them. Marigolds are flowering. We got tomato flowers that are hopefully gonna stick around because if it gets too hot, they drop their blossoms. We got, these are the striped bell peppers, and then I think these are just plain bells. We got more stripy pepper plants with no peppers on them yet. Still just tomato flowers. Ugh. Try not to fall backwards down the stairs while I'm walking. We have a banana pepper plant that I'm gonna have to harvest off of right away here so that it keeps putting up more flowers for me. And this one I got from my friend Dodie, so I didn't start this one. I can't take credit for how great it looks. That's all her. I gotta stake this pepper plant because more stripy bells and they're making it fall over. And then more tomato plants. Should probably come through here and prune some suckers, but I left my suckers too long and they have flowers on them. So we're kind of just rolling with it. More tomatoes. Okay, there is a tomato. I know there's a tomato because I found it yesterday and I was so excited. So now I'm gonna try to find it again. 13 tomato plants, 1 tomato so far. So far. Hopefully they flush out here for me. Here it is. 1 tomato. Look at that. I'm gonna be so sad if it gets destroyed. But so far it looks to be doing okay. But yes, I have 1 tomato so far. I have to remember the so far part. So then flowers are doing good. T-Rex still isn't in the ground and it's real wet now, so I don't know when it's gonna get in the ground. The lettuce is pretty much like obliterated in all of the containers, which I'm kind of cheesed about, but I think because there's a lot of empty space in the beds right now because it's just too hot and I don't have a whole lot of time, so I might just end up putting in a bunch of leafy greens. We got some peppers growing on the plants down here. These plants are really small and they're putting out peppers, so I don't know, kind of let them do what they're gonna do. Then eggplants are thriving, having a grand old time. There's eggplant plants that survived in here, which I didn't think they were going to, so we'll see what comes of those. I might end up pulling them and just keeping that pot empty, or I might let them grow and then bring them inside and see what happens. I don't know. What do you guys think what I should do? Because I don't know. Irises are still doing well. These are gonna probably stay in this pot until the fall, honestly, because they got lots of room and they're not going to flower this year. So then rubber plants are doing real well. They really enjoyed the wet and the hot. As you can see, they're all putting out new leaves. The sunflowers still need to go in the ground and take off on me. I mean, for being in a pot, the T-Rex is doing pretty good. It's pushing out new leaves, which is exciting. That'll have to go in the ground as soon as it's nice out. Or nicer. Because it's not real nice right now. Catnip is doing good. This ruby is doing amazing. It's pushing out another leaf. Some of the herbs are not doing super great. I'm pretty sure that mint is toast. I'm going to cut it back and see what happens. The thyme is actually doing really well. The rosemary's bounced back. That mint, the ginger mint, I'm not super sure about right now about what's going to happen with it. I might cut it back too and see what happens. Then I got peppermint and apple mint are doing well. The chives are doing well. I forget what I planted in the back basket there, but it's dead. The sweet pea flowers are doing really well. They're growing super well. Next year I might actually just plant them around the trellis or the chicken wire and just have them to be pretty. I was kind of annoyed the other day because I was looking at my garden and I just felt like it was kind of not where it was last year, but last year I also had 13-foot tall tomato plants. So I think that made up for like this space that I feel is wasted. But I have 2 tomato plants in here now that seem to be doing okay. And then the beans are just kind of wild. I think some of the seeds that I planted were actually pole beans. You can see that they kind of got some runners. So we'll see what happens with those. And then that zucchini, it does not have flowers on it yet, but it is well on its way. If you take a look, you can see at the base there, there's tiny little, right in there, that looks like a flower getting ready to start. And there's leaf cutter bees out, so I don't have to hand pollinate, which is fantastic. Then the petunia baskets are doing good. There's nasturtium flowers, which I'm super excited about because I think this is the first year I've ever had nasturtiums flower for me. Because for a plant that thrives on neglect, I apparently don't neglect it properly, and they never flowered for me. So then we take a look in here. So it is starting to get a little too warm in here. Stuff is bolted. As you can see, one of my pak choys is bolted. This one right there seems to be doing okay. But at least I know that my brassicas like it in this, so I can start them earlier next year. And I can probably, I think I want to get another one of these, and then I'll try my radish and my carrots and my beets earlier too, so that they can kind of come to fruition before the heat hits, because that's the issue that I'm having, is they get ready and they're almost to the point where I can have them bulb up for me, and then the heat hits and they bolt. So now put the boots on to go traipse through the lake that is my backyard. We're supposed to get more rain too. I'm so excited. So excited. Alright, try not to fall or drop anything because that would suck. Oh. Okay, so the corn's having a nap. Like I said, things got pelted. There was a lot of rain. So the corn's still good. Probably have to come out here and put some stakes in to get them to stand up straight again. The onions this year, I don't know if it was because I got a bad batch of sets or I don't know, but they're not happy. So I might honestly just pull them and call it a day. because I can put greens in there and have something actually be edible instead of wasting space. But that is the decision for the weekend, probably. And my okra's growing real well. I think I had almost all of it come up. My corn is in the way. I have a volunteer. I don't know what this is. It's growing right beside an onion, but I don't know what that is. I guess we will see. That's a seed. I don't know if that's gonna grow, but like, yeah. Not impressed with the onions. Not impressed with the beets. However, the beets have grown, so hopefully I get some stuff off of them. And I have pea pods, which is exciting. Look at that. Pea pods. Almost ready to pull. Actually, I could probably pull these. Look at that. That's exciting. So exciting. Oh, but there's a couple peas all through here. I haven't been over to this side in a little bit. As you can see, I have a patch of dead plant detritus that needs to be dealt with. And then the radish bolted. Not surprising. I don't think I got anything that's really worth... Well, this one might be. Let's pull this one and see. Hey! Might be able to eat that. That's the hailstone. That's exciting. Yay! What about this one? Nope. A buggo got it. Oh, darn. Okay, add that to the pile. Whoa, these are all bolted, so we'll just pull them over here. Darn. Yeah, they did not enjoy that. I know I planted a zucchini in here somewhere and some more cucumber. This cucumber has finally decided that it wants to grow a little bit more, so we'll see what happens with that. Oh, dang it. This one's no good either. Darn. That's disappointing. Darn. Well, that just means I can try again for the fall, when it's cooler. And the potatoes are glorious. They're not flowering yet, which is good. But yes, potatoes never let me down, which I'm grateful for. And here's my little garden spider. Doing pretty good. There's a bigger one over on the other side that I'm actually super excited to see. I might get carrots. Got lots of carrot tops. Not as many as I'd planted, but they seem to be doing not too bad. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Well, that's a rock. I might get some carrots. That would be exciting. Yeah. And then just a mess of beans. Like a legitimate mess of beans. I'm gonna go over that way. Oh crap. Knocking stuff over. I'm gonna see if I can get a better look. Ugh, so much water. I'm gonna run this sump after this is done because it's noisy. And it makes kind of a mess. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I did plant... Aha! Yeah, see? There it is. I did plant more cucumber. And they do seem to be coming up this time. There's another one right there. So we'll see. I did plant them with enough time, but then it got really wet. so I don't know what all they're gonna do. But we'll see. It's better to try and be unsuccessful than to have not tried and realized I had enough time to be successful. I'm really trying not to fall in this mud. Whew. So yeah, beans. We don't have actual beans yet, but there's flowers, which there was not flowers last week. And everything is just kind of unhappy because they got dumped on, but the beds are nice and damp. The roots will be nice and happy. Cosmos and zinnias I've given up on. I'm not going to get any this year, I don't think. And then you'll see, I don't know if you can see her. Here's my other garden spider. I'm very excited to see the garden spiders. And all those pods pushed out from the bees. So they are out and about, which is exciting. And staying dry, because you can see the ground there is dry. Which, I'm starting to wonder if that might be the best spot for the T-Rex hosta, because hostas really like damp. But I could probably offset it a little bit so that it's not dead center under the stairs, but a little bit this way so it fills out more. But we'll see. I gotta rethink the functionality of this area. But yeah, that's oh, I was over there and I didn't get a look at the nasturtium flower. Shoot. Did you see those nasturtiums are growing in too? Look at that. I have actual baskets of nasturtiums. That is amazing. And I planted sweet peas in here and nothing is up yet. Except for this seedling, which is not something I want in my garden. So it goes in the middle. But yeah, that's what we're looking at on, oh, what's the date today? The 19th? 19th of July, I believe. Yeah. And so that's where we're at. Seeing where things get to. Because at this point, I'm just kind of like, if I get anything from my garden, I will be impressed. Because it's just been a year. And it's not just been a year for me. There's a lot of people I know that are struggling. Which is validating, but it's also frustrating because we don't want people to struggle with their gardens. We want gardening to be enjoyable. Look at those nasturtiums. Whew. I only had 2 baskets of nasturtiums not pop up. That's pretty excellent. Yeah, that's this week's look at the garden. So thank you for checking it out and seeing the progress, and I'll see you in the next one.